Good day guys, today I'm going to share with you one of the most pleasing dragons I have. And if you're a dragon fan, you know I've reviewed a few really good ones. But today is extra special because we'll be looking at the Capcom creators model Mizutsune. I've reviewed the figure builder Heavenly Eye Mizutsune before. As with all figure builders, it was very detailed and textured for its size, and while impressive, there's always going to be a limitation to what you can do at that size, and that's where the larger scale of a creator's model provides some freedom. Mizutsune has always struck me as a peaceful, mind-her-own-business animal, just like many of the so-called monsters in the Monster World universe. Lying down languidly, surrounded by bubbles, I've had a very soft spot for this dragon. The serpentine Asiatic form of this dragon is obvious, and just like the Chinese dragon, she's both scaly and pretty furry. And we saw that in the figure builder, but at this size, you really get a lot more detail in texture and color. In the fur, which you see here in the chest, the elbows, the legs, and most of all here in the very bushy tail. And you doubtless notice also the very nice color in the tail. But the silvery scale detail is where I think this really shines, literally. From the tiny ones in the face. Just look at that fineness in there. And the jaw, and then down the neck, the body, and I really like the design of the scales in the hands, and the feet. The way they're layered, just very pleasing to look at. The appendages in the head are translucent pink. As are these dorsal fins here. Now just look at that very faint detailed texture in the fins here. Like a really fine etching. I only wish that this orange paint wasn't so stark and obviously painted on. Now if they could do it so delicately here in the pink, for example, then I think a more delicately applied orange would have been possible as well. And more in keeping with the theme of the dragon. But the painting is really nice is here in the tiny eyes, which are very well painted in a nice blue with no overruns that I can see. And also the interesting color scheme of the claws, starting out in a brown, but then transitioning into a purple. And that's quite an unusual mix of colors. Now the bubbles really deserve mention. Mizutsune produces these bubbles in its fur, which are then used to protect the dragon or as an attack. These bubbles are all transparent, and I like how naturally they appear, not artificially stuck onto the body. For example, you see this one in the tail. You can almost imagine it being formed and then exuded from the fur. This one in the tail tip, you can almost imagine it actually floating near the tail as opposed to being stuck onto it. The surrounding ones at the base appear to just be where they've naturally fallen. I do wonder if they could have introduced some of the multicolored hues within the bubble to create an interference effect like you see in the cutscenes. Speaking of the base, the pedestal is really finely detailed, with a whitish dry brushing that brings it out even more. I do wish that the white parts could have been better detailed with a few more washes, especially this part here, which I assume represents the misty environs of this dragon. Unlike the figure builder, which is very action-packed, this one is really languid, but it's posed in a way that makes it look good from any angle. And that's what a good model does. We all, of course, emphasize the sculpt, the detail, and the color, but the right pose will give you a variety of options to display all that wonderful quality, so that it all looks good from any angle. What would be really nice is, depending on the lighting setup of your display, the translucency of this statue can really create different moods and effects that add a lot of interest and make it stand out from the rest. So that's our look at the Capcom creators model Mizutsune. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you soon with another review. You have a great rest of the week, guys.